안녕하세요. 저는 이름 사나다입니다. Hello, this is Ren Sanada, and I just wanted to give you guys some tips on learning Korean, which is what I'm doing right now. I know this is a video, but I just decided to do it this way instead of me being on camera. I don't like to be on camera. Okay. So basically, there are a few steps to learning Korean, or any language, rather. Um, the first thing you're going to need is materials, of course, especially if you learn it on your own the way I'm doing, because I don't live near any place that teaches Korean, and the nearest place is LA, and that's about 8 hours away by car, of course. So basically, the first thing you want to do is actually learn the Korean alphabet. They have consonant and vowels, just like the English alphabet. Most other languages have an alphabet as well. Some have characters, but basically you'll get consonants and vowels. So learn the Korean alphabet because, and you want to learn it with their characters because, yeah, it's going to be harder to learn if you try to learn it with the English translation of those characters, because some of Korean characters have a double sound. Whether it's at the beginning of a word or the end of a word, it can sound totally different. And so, just to make it easier on you, just don't learn it with the English translation of the Korean consonants and vowels and whatnot. So after you've learned that, top to bottom, I forget how many consonants and vowels they have, but after you learn those, you want to get this book here. It's called Read and Speak Korean for Beginners. This is the very first book that I've gotten, and it's so great. Like, seriously. It helped me to learn Korean faster than anything I've done so far. And then you also want to get this called Build Your Korean Vocabulary. Because basically, once you have these two books, then you can learn to read Korean. And to be honest, I can actually read Korean, but I don't understand any of it. Well, I won't say any of it, but I can just read it. And you just have no idea how good of a feeling it is just to learn how to read another language. Excuse me. And then another one to help you with the reading is this Reading Korean for Beginners. I also have this. And basically it teaches you how to read in Korean. You want to learn how to read first, simply because, for me, I believe it's easier. Once you learn how to read it, then you can pick up on, understanding it and speaking it, and then afterwards learn to write it. So that's the way I feel, it's done. It's easier to learn, basically, that way. So after, you've learned to read the language, even though you don't have any idea what it's saying, except for a few words here and there, using the Read and Speak Korean for Beginners and the vocabulary, you should have some idea of what you're reading. Then you want to go into the Listening Korean for Beginners book, and it comes with the CD so that you can listen to conversations and try to understand what they're saying. And then you want to get this right here. It's called Mastering Conversation Korean for Beginners. And this is actually a really good book, but you need to learn how to read Korean first. Simply because this goes into the grammar of Korean, which is really good because, we need to learn how to make sentences. Okay, the third book, which I honestly do not recommend as a beginner's book, is the Hello Korean with Joongi. I know there's tons of fans and people say, oh, it works, and it may work for them, but if you're a complete beginner the way I was, and you took a look in this book, you'll be like, what in the world? And it's a good thing that I know how to read Korean now, and I can actually follow along in this book a lot easier now that I know how to read it. And now that I'm building my vocabulary, it's getting even better to where I'm actually understanding, the sentences and what's going on and how a sentence is created. And then the fourth step here is of writing in Korean. And for that, you can use this writing Korean for beginners. But by the time you get to this point, you should already be writing in Korean from the workbooks, Read and Speak Korean. All these are basically workbooks. But you should be writing in Korean by then. But by the time you get this book, it's going to go into even more detail and pretty much finish up your learning in Korean. And then along with all of these books, of course, I'm going to list a couple of links to videos that teach you, vocabulary and grammar and things by an actual person or people teaching Korean. And this is, like I said, all this is just, pretty much my opinion and how I've learned, Korean. Even though I don't speak it very well, I can read it, and I'm still learning vocabulary, and so yeah. But this is just my point of view. I mean, it may work out easier some other way for you guys that I don't know about, and this, like I said, it's just my experience. It's easier to learn the alphabet and then learn how to read it and then learn how to speak it and understand it and then learn how to write it, because I don't know, it's just to me a 4-step process, because you can't do one without the other. You need to know the characters in order to read it. You need to know what you're reading in order to speak it or understand it. Well, not really. You can understand and speak a language without having to read it, but I don't know, it's just a process that I'm going through right now, and I'm actually using 6 of these books to read, write, understand, and speak Korean. I'm not using the last one just because I already know how to write it, since I've practiced the Korean alphabet first when I was actually learning the alphabet. So I don't actually need that last one, but I will get it eventually, just to increase my knowledge of the Korean writing system. So that's it for now. That's my steps to learning Korean, and I hope this helped everyone. You guys have a good day. Bye.